We're gonna be solving a Rubik's Cube layer by layer in these very easy to understand steps. Over 1 million people have seen my full video and solved their first Rubik's Cube using that, so congrats to them. But in this video I condensed everything in just 8 minutes. Good luck solving your first Rubik's Cube. Let's start with some of the basics. These are centers and they stay in place. So for example, the yellow center will always be opposite of the white center. These are edges and they have 2 colors. These are corners and have 3 colors. The first step is solving the white cross, but the side colors of the edges also need to align to the centers, as you can see right here. So this is a wrong cross since the side colors don't match to the centers. The easiest way to create a correct cross is by aligning the white edges to the yellow center first, essentially creating a daisy. Now this is pretty intuitive and you should be able to figure this out yourself by just playing a bit with the puzzle. However, the case I'm showing right now can be really tough. You have this white edge flipped in place. To solve it, you just turn it down, align the empty spot to the edge, and insert it. When you have your daisy, you just need to align the side color of an edge to the center and join that edge to the white center. Now you do this for each edge one by one. To continue, we need to learn 2 simple algorithms. An algorithm is just a sequence of moves you need to memorize. The first one we're gonna call the Righty algorithm. It is just 4 moves that go like this. You turn the right layer clockwise, then the upper layer clockwise, the right layer counterclockwise, and the upper layer counterclockwise. The second one we're gonna call the Lefty algorithm. It's exactly the same but mirrored to the left side. We turn the left layer counterclockwise, the upper layer counterclockwise, the left layer clockwise, and the upper layer clockwise. Now practice both algorithms until you can do them yourself. Now we will use these algorithms to solve the corners next to the cross and create our first layer. To do so, hold the cross on the bottom and find any corner piece in the top layer with white on it. Like this one. The first step is to look where it belongs. This piece has orange and blue in it, so it needs to go in between the orange and blue cross pieces. So we put it right above it, which is already the case for this corner. Now just looking at the white color, there are 3 positions it can be in. It can face to the right, to the left, or it can face up. If it faces to the right, we hold the corner to the right side and do a Righty algorithm. This solves the corner in the right spot. If it faces to the left, we hold it to the left side and do a Lefty algorithm. And if it faces up, we hold it to the right and do 3 Righty algorithms. Here I have a corner in the top layer with white on it. The other colors are red and green, so I put it above the red and green centers. Since the white faces to the right, I put it on the right side and do a Righty algorithm. If you ever get to a point where there are no white pieces on top, but you have one in the bottom layer that is wrong, just hold that corner to the right and do a Righty algorithm. Now your corner is back in the top layer. Now you should be able to solve all the white corners. Now we need to insert the edges on top of the corners to solve the second layer. To do so, we hold the cross at the bottom again and look for edges in the top layer without any yellow. Here I have one with the colors orange and blue. We're gonna look at the color on the side and align it to the correct center. Now while facing the edge, we look at which side it needs to go. It will either need to go to the left or to the right. If it needs to go to the right, we turn the upper layer so that the edge is 1 turn away from the spot it needs to go. Then you do a Righty algorithm. This will take out the corner we solved in the last step. But now we just solve that corner again, and it solves the corner with the edge. If the edge needs to go to the left side, we once again turn the upper layer so that the edge is 1 turn away from the spot it needs to go. Then we do a Lefty algorithm, and now we solve the corner again like we did in the last step. If you ever get to a point where there are no edges without yellow in the top layer, but you have an edge in the middle layer that is in its wrong spot, just solve a random edge in that position so that the edge you need will end up in the top layer. Hopefully you can now solve your second layer. Now we are going to solve the last layer in 4 simple steps. The first one is to create a yellow cross on top. If you already have a yellow cross, you can skip this step. Otherwise, just looking at the edges of the top layer, you can have 3 cases. You can have a line, a hook, or a dot. If you have a line, you hold your line like this and turn the front layer clockwise. Then you do 1 Righty algorithm, and finally you turn the front layer anti-clockwise. If you have a hook, you hold your hook like this and turn the front layer clockwise. Now you do 2 Righty algorithms, and now you turn the front layer anti-clockwise. If you have a dot, you just do the same steps as you did for the line case, which will create a hook. Just solve that hook in the way that I showed before. Finally, if you have an uneven amount of edges facing up, you need to disassemble your cube and fix it. Now, just like the cross at the bottom, we are going to make sure that the edges of our top cross are aligned to their centers. To do so, we need a simple algorithm called a Sune. To memorize this one, try to keep track of this pair. We take the pair out by turning the right layer clockwise, turning the pair away, and realigning the cross again. We put the pair into the back, and now we turn the right layer clockwise again, bring the pair all the way back into its spot, and realign the cross. That is one Sune algorithm. Repeat it until you can do it by heart. Now, to bring the edges into the right spot, we first try to align as many edges as possible by turning the upper layer. You will either be able to line up 2 edges across from each other, 2 next to each other, or all, in which case you can skip this step. If you can align 2 edges across from each other, just do a Sune algorithm. Now you will be able to align 2 edges next to each other, which is the second case. Hold these 2 edges in the back and the right and do another Sune. You're either going to be able to align all edges, but if you can't, just do this one more time and you should be able to align all the edges. Now we just need to solve the corners and we're done. The first step is to bring all the corners into the right spot. A corner is in the right spot when the colors that aren't yellow match the center colors it's on top of. If that's already the case on your cube, you can just skip this step. If not, to do so we will need to learn one more algorithm called a Niklas. For this alg, keep track of the 2 front pairs. Keeping track of the right pair, we put it up and into the back. Now keeping track of the left pair, we're gonna put it up as well and put that one into the back. Now we can solve the right pair by just aligning the cross again. And now we just need to solve the left pair by aligning it and putting the cross down. This is the last algorithm you will need to memorize. To use it, find one corner that is in the right spot, like this one. Hold it in the front left and do a Niklas. Then if you align the cross again, you will either have all corners in the right place or you will need to do it one more time. Now all the corners are in the right spot. If there are no corners in the right spot, do a Niklas from any angle, which will bring one corner in the right spot and you can start from there. Now you just need to twist the corners and you're done. To do so, first hold the white layer on top. Now we are going to solve the corners in the right bottom one by one. Let's first solve this corner right here. To do so, we are gonna keep doing righty algorithms until this corner is solved. So after 2 righty algorithms, I solved this corner. Now super important, don't rotate the cube, but turn the bottom layer so that the next corner comes in the same spot. Now we do the same. Keep doing righty algorithms until that corner is solved. Then we turn the bottom layer again to the next corner. This one is solved so we can skip it. Here we have the last one. Just keep doing righty algorithms. One more. Now align the cross again. And we solved our Rubik's Cube.